You guys, I just got a message from the Scorpion. I need your help. The message came with an attachment, but we have to listen to the message first.
Your code name is Glitter Buns. This is Scorpion. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to save the city from You Ain't the Boss of Me, which is running rampant, destroying lives. In order to save the city, you must create this look, which will stamp out You Ain't the Boss of Me. This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Okay, here is the attachment. This is the look that I have to do so that You Ain't the Boss of Me does not wreck our city. The last time he was here, it was just chaos. It was pandemonium. I didn't think we would ever recover. So it's really important that I get this right. Welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Andi, and I'm really happy that you're here. We are doing a Mission Impossible collab. The Scorpion, Miss Leanna Dalton, has sent myself, Dion from Dion Loves Makeup, Ash from Makeup and Chaos, and Erica Conger. She has sent us all looks that we have to do to save our cities. And the 4 of us got together and we all found looks for the Scorpion to do. And then we had to vote on which one we thought would be the most impactful for our cities. So make sure you go check out Leanna. I will have a playlist in the description box below so that you can go watch all of these impossible looks. Okay, so this is my look. I'm not going to lie. It's a little scary. It's a little scary. I know the first thing I'm going to do is put on some shadow shields, and I'm going to put them straight and not curved because her look is very straight. Now, I'm filming on my phone, so I can't look at the photo. My printer is a black and white printer because it's only used for invoices and labels. So I was like, you know what? I'll just study it and I'll do as best as I possibly can. Now there's a lot of blue in this look, and I went through and tried to find a blue that I thought would match. This blue right here is pretty dark. I like it. There is also this blue in the Paris palette from BH. That's a little lighter. This might be the one I go with. And then I looked and I saw this blue from the Glam Light Icy palette. And this is a little bit more of a royal blue, but I think I'm going to go with this one right here. There's also a purple in the above that. And I'm going to be using this purple right here because it does have a little bit of a redness to it, the purple that they used. I was actually sent a video. The Scorpion sent me the video where this look was created, and I studied that video. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the blue. And I'm going to use a flat brush. This is a dough color brush. And I do have my eyes primed with the e.l.f. eye primer. I'm sorry, but I have to show you guys something. We are dog sitting. This is Luna. This is my grand dog. And we call her the bat dog because she looks like a little bat. She is Chihuahua, and she has Dachshund in her and a little bit of Terrier. And she had some skin issues, but it's growing back nicely. So she's very sweet, baby. She's very sweet. Oh, yes, you're very sweet. Okay, so she doesn't like the fact that I'm sitting up here and she's not able to get all over me. Okay, now, I'm not going to set that eye primer. I am going to go in with this blue. Oh, that's nice and pigmented. I think this will be a good blue. I do. So, you guys, oh man, went the wrong. So part of the idea behind this collab is to talk about things that we see as impossible. And what that means to us. Something that we always taught Bailey was that nothing's impossible. You can accomplish anything that you set your mind to accomplish. Now, it's not always going to be easy. Sometimes it's going to be very difficult. But if you want it bad enough, then you're going to go for it. I remember her being about 7 or 8 years old, and we're driving down a road, and it's out in front of this apartment complex, and it's like a babbling brook, but it's really, really blue. And I said something like, oh, that's got to be dyed. They must have dyed that water because it's impossible for it to be that blue. And she says, nothing's impossible if you just believe, Mom. And I thought that was so funny that she said that. And so that kind of became our little, not really our joke, because it's not a joke, but our little mantra, I guess. If you believe that you can do it, then you're going to be able to do it. It might take you years. It might be the hardest thing you've ever done in your entire life. But I do believe that anything is possible. When I first started my YouTube channel, I had already had 2 other channels, and the one I took down on my own. So it was a keto eating channel. It was a keto recipes and things like that. I'm going to take this Chanavy brush and I'm going to go into this purple, and I am going to put that above that. I'm leaving this blank for a reason, and that'll go, we'll touch on that in a little bit. So it was a keto channel, and then I started a channel that had to do with my business. It was e-commerce reselling channel. Then I started this channel, and I realized that I could not do all of them. I couldn't do all of them. I could have, but it would have taken a lot of time away from my actual business. That's before I started working where I'm working now. So I felt like I had the time to do it. So I did fail on that. I did fail. I ended up shutting down the keto channel, and my reselling channel. I've not done anything with for over a year. It's okay to fail at things. It's not a failure. It's something that you failed at. It's not a failure. A failure is something that you've never even attempted to try. And I love the saying that is, you will fail at 100% of the things that you don't attempt. Okay, I'm going to take this other brush and I'm going to go back into I'm just going to take this Wet n Wild brush. And I'm going to go back into, I'm going to go into that blue, and I'm going to bring it over. And look at those crepey lids. I'm already lost, you guys. I'm already lost. I was going to wait and do this part of it, but I'm going to cut my crease. So let's go ahead and do this. And then go back into that purple. Now, the chick in this picture, she's awfully orange from here up. And I'm not doing that. I'm not doing the orange. I hope that you ain't the boss of me. I hope that we can still thwart You Ain't the Boss of Me. by me not being orange. Okay, I'm going to cut my crease. So I'm going to go in this, and then I'm going to open my eye because I have hooded eyes, and that's going to tell me where I need to go. I don't know where Miss Luna went. Hope she's behaving herself. When I first saw this look, I was like, what? Because it was very intimidating, which is why we got it. Which is why the Scorpion sent us these looks. Okay, I'm not too worried about the edge here because it's going to be covered up. This is all going to be covered up. I am going to give this a chance to dry a little bit. And while that dries down a little, I'm going to do the under part of my eye. I'm going to grab this little guy here, go into that blue. I'm going to bring that in. You know, it's hard to tell in that photo. When it gets lighter through here, it almost looks a little teal, but I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Okay, now I'm going to go back in with that brush, and I'm going to put some primer through here. And there's a reason for that. Okay, now I went through a ton of palettes to find that blue. But you know what was even harder to find? A matte white. All my whites are shimmery, except for Blend Bunny. Thank you, Blend Bunny. Blend Bunny has this matte white right here. So we're going to do that. I'm going to take one of my small Shop Miss A brushes. I usually use these for shimmers, but I'm trying to be very precise. I don't usually spray mattes, but in this case I am. Because I want it to be very intense white. I'm going to use a different brush, you guys. I'm going to go with this little, it's flat, but it's got a little bit of floof to it. There's a lot of a blue cast to that. I was hoping that this Blend Bunny would be pigmented enough. That looks pretty good. That's pretty white. There is a blue cast to it. That's not going to be able to, I can't help that. I can't help that. Okay, so now, going back into this blue, I'm going to use a different blue. You guys. I'm going to use this blue right here. I'm going to use this blue right here. Yeah, this blue right here. Yeah, that's the blue I needed. Oh, that's perfect. You know, the 12-year-old that is in that photo with the eye look doesn't have creasy lids. Concentrating. We can't lose our city to You Got the Boss of Me. Oh, I think that blue is perfect. Let's go something smaller. Use this pencil brush right here. Okay, you guys, that's freaking insane is what it is. Okay, I took those off. I'm going to take a little bit of a concealer. And I'm going to go on. Hi, Boone. Hi, sweets. Hi. A little bit of concealer. And I'll clean up that line. Okay, I cleaned up that line a little bit. Okay, I'm going to take another floofy brush. This one. I think of this one. This is the one I used on the purple. I'm going to clean it off just a little bit. And I'm going to go up through here and I'm going to kind of blend that out. Now, she is baked. Like, she has baked underneath her eyes quite a bit. Sorry about that. Luna's mom called. My daughter called. Check and make sure everything was okay. Whatever. Okay, so I have to do a graphic liner. And I don't own a graphic liner. So what I'm going to do is I have this liner brush right here. I have several of them. But I'm going to scrape a little bit of this shade right here onto my palette. And I'm going to use a little bit of Duraline mixing liquid to make my own graphic liner. Now I have it in this little dropper, which is why I bought these little bottles. And I'm going to scrape first. Okay, so I have this little goo on here. I don't know if this is going to work. Pretty sure that's a disaster, you guys. I'm pretty sure that's a disaster. But we're going to make the other side just as much of a disaster. Because the 12-year-old in the photo doesn't have creepy eyes. This first one turned out better. I need an even thinner brush than that. Well, that's as good as it's going to get. And I'm going to stop. And you probably can't even see it. But I'm going to stop here. Do you have your horse? Has your horse? And I'm going to stop doing that. Otherwise, I'm going to really mess it up. But I'm going to go off camera, do liner, lashes, lips. And I'm probably going to darken up my blush a little bit and put a little bit more bronzer on. So don't go anywhere. So what do you think, you guys? Did we save the city from You Ain't the Boss of Me? I'm not going to lie. When I got that message, I laughed so hard. Anyway, this was a lot of fun to do. I loved it. I always love pushing myself. This was probably not as difficult as I thought it was going to be, but this was my first time ever even trying graphic liner. So I have no idea what I'm doing. I just thought maybe that would work, and it probably would have if I had the right brush, if I had a very long, skinny brush. I've seen Ash from Makeup and Chaos do graphic liner a few times, and they do it way better than I do, but they also have a very long, skinny, very long brush. So that probably would have helped if I had a right brush, but I'm really happy with it. I think it turned out pretty good. I do. I'm just going to say, I think it turned out pretty good. Okay, what do I have on my face? Real quick. I have the Misha Perfect Cover BB Cream. This is in shade 27. I did mix it with a little bit of the Juvia's Place in Capri. This is way too light, but that is now too dark because it's winter and I'm pale. I used the Milani Conceal and Perfect as my contour. I used the Milani Baked Bronzer. And then when I went in to make it a little bit more bronzy, I used the Belgian waffle from BH, and I used this one right here. My blush. The first blush I did was this ColourPop in Cheerio, but I sheared it out so much that I went back in with it and made it a little bit darker because she has pretty dark blush. I ended up using for my eyes, I ended up using this navy blue right here, that navy blue right there, and then I used this like medium blue shade right there. I used the violet, like purpley shade from there. And I used the white, which I think did end up doing what I wanted it to do right here. And yeah, I think it's okay. Oh, and then for my graphic liner, I did go into this shade right here and kind of scraped some of that out and mixed it with the Duraline, not Duraline, more Mayron mixing liquid. I got this from Amazon. It's like $10, $11 for this right here. Duraline is way more expensive. So then I used this Scone liquid liner on my top, and then I tight lined, and on my bottom waterline I used the Revlon Color Stay black liner. My mascara, I did not put lashes on. My mascara is the Sky High and then the L'Oreal Air Volume. My lips, I lined them because she has a very subtle lip. I lined them with the Totally Toffee. It is the Maybelline Color Sensational Shaping Liner. Lined them with Totally Toffee, and then filled them in with the Lifter Gloss, Maybelline Lifter Gloss in Crystal. And I think that gives really close to the same effect. So what do you think? Is Scorpion going to be proud of me? Did I save the city from You Ain't the Boss of Me? Please let me know. Thank you guys so much for joining us today for our collab. Don't forget to go down in the playlist and go see everybody else's videos, because I'm really looking forward to it. We weren't allowed to share. We weren't allowed to share with each other what our looks were from the Scorpion. So I am really looking forward to seeing what Mission Impossible looks that these awesome creators came up with. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate being here. And until our next adventure, everyone have a great day, and we'll see you later.